Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at Michigan tonight. We are here with the Stars and Stripes series. We're in the INDYCAR here tonight. I'm here in the booth with Christian Taylor. How you feeling tonight, Christian?
Feeling really good here, ready to see some INDYCAR racing action. I think it's going to be hectic because, you know, these cars get some runs and these drivers are all gas, no brake with it. We're going to find out here tonight.
Yeah, you know, watching practice, I'm not feeling too confident on how good of a race this is going to be, but we were looking through the rules earlier, and I believe we did confirm there is one fast repair. Is that right, Christian?
There is one fast repair. I'm going to try to pull this up as I'm talking. Yep, one fast repair tonight. Lucky Dog is on. If we do throw the yellow, when we throw the yellow, we're going to be starting back single file racing. And like you said, one fast repair to round out the rules.
Absolutely. So we're just about ready to roll in, folks. It's official. Top of the board. He's fast in every car. Quick time. Dylan Grimm in the 23 machine going to kick off from the front row here tonight. Folks, it is time for tonight's starting lineup. We got 110 laps here at Michigan. Are you ready? Let's find some good tunes to play here in the background, folks, because we got the best tunes in the business.
Absolutely. Number one best. And I worked hard on it.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. It is time tonight here at Michigan for the Motor City 220. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row on the inside from the pole position, the 23 machine Dylan Grimm. On his outside in the 89, James Waldo.
Row number 2, Cal Bowling in the 44. To his outside, Alex Bafy in the 08.
Row number 3 on the inside, the number 97, DJ Weeks on his outside. Last week's winner, the GOAT, the 05, Scott Rickard.
And row number 4, Ben Shepard in that 69 car. Keep an eye out for him tonight. And Chad White to his outside in the 36.
Row number 5 on the inside in the beautiful Iowa State number 7 machine, Kyle McCoy on his outside, the 88, Timmy McNally.
Row number 6, Zachary Nelson in the 07 car, Brian Burchett in the 33.
And in row number 8 on the inside, sorry, this is row number 7 on the inside, the number 19, Sam Siegel on his outside, the 4, Aaron Hale.
And behind them, you got Nate Lynch in the 25 car and Bryce Barfield. Keep an eye out for him in the 35.
From the 17th position in the 77 machine, Larry Griffin the 3rd on his outside, the number 3, Ryan Lynch.
In the 19th position, Gavin Adams in the 82. To his outside, Greg Hammond in the 66.
And in row number 11 on the inside, the number 91, Chris Essery on his outside, the 28, Josh Whitaker.
William Duff the 4th in the 17 car, Evan Lane in the 48.
Kicking off from 25th, he's slow, he's junking in INDYCARs, the 9, Zach Kreitz on his outside, the 46. His teammate, I believe, Jason Gratton.
Running out to 27th position, Derek Offerman in the 20 car. And beside him was Brian Samara in that 53 car. Keep an eye out for him. He was kind of slow in practice, wasn't even there, Blake.
Yeah, Brian Samara was looking like junk out here earlier, but folks, that's all we're going to announce. If we didn't say your favorite driver, it's because they're slow, they're junk, they're starting all the way in the back. But here tonight, Christian, how many cars are we seeing on the track right now? I'm seeing 35, is that right?
I got 35 cars pacing around. I think one is opted to start from the pits, but maybe not. And nonetheless, we're about to go racing here at Michigan. Your Motor City 220. Blake, take it away.
Absolutely, and we're hanging out here at the new Hutchinson Motorsports TV flag stand view. The pace car is heading in. We're in front of a sold-out crowd here in Michigan. The Motor City 220 into the restart zone. We are ready. Green flag in the air at Michigan.
Look at them zoom on by through the triover, down towards turn 1, side by side. We hope they're not banging doors because that's going to kill them as they head into turn 1.
Yes, sir. Look at these camera angles down on the track and up against the wall. They are zooming around Michigan here tonight.
Look at that shot. Oh, my goodness. That cameraman about to get ran over.
Absolutely. These cameras are just getting destroyed out here. They just got ran over again. Boy, we're still clean and green for now, but boy, you know what? This is going a lot better than I expected, but they're going 4 wide here on the front stretch. Who's going to be the first to junk it? I bet it's coming soon.
You know, I ran an AI race just for fun, just for giggles, about 50 laps, and the AI was junking it more than these guys were. We didn't make it a single green flag lap, so props to these guys as we're rumbling down the backstretch.
Absolutely, and you know, I mean, a wreck's still going to happen anytime, but this is impressive here. We've made it 2 laps. I hate to brag about 2 laps, but what we saw in practice, this is 10 times better than what we were expecting right now. Chad White in the most beautiful car on the track, currently running in the 6th position.
Larry Griffin going for a ride through the infield. It looks like he's going to keep it off the wall. He is scored in the 16th position currently, all the way probably to the back.
Oh, look out. He just got doored. One's going to the infield. Caution is out. DJ Weeks just got jumped here tonight. And boy, that was kind of a weak caution here. One car sent into the infield there, and caution immediately comes out. So iRacing throwing a quick one there. Let's see what happened here. I saw it live. But here it is. You're watching the Motorsports TV replay. They were 3 wide. The guy just comes down and says, later loser, junks him. DJ Weeks has some damage.
I don't know if you got a report of it. The 77 also went around before that caution, not contributing to the caution though.
Yeah, let's go through the logs here and see if we can find Larry Griffin. Oh, let's put him in on pit lane. Okay, there we go. Here it is. He got turned. Let's rewind a little bit. This is before the caution came out, but here's Larry Griffin. Let's hop over to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV 3-cam, best TV 3-cam in the business. And here they are. He's just swerving around. Oh, yeah, he just lost himself there. Tried to correct it, but thankfully he misses that infield pit wall. Keeps it rolling here. Not too much damage.
And if our broadcast cameras caught it, we also had a 3rd solo spin right after the caution, or right as the caution flew, probably the 28 of Josh Whitaker. Did the cameras catch that, Blake?
No clue, probably not. But hang on here. We're trying to work on something. It's not letting me go back live, so I'm gonna have to fast forward here, folks. Give me one moment. What's going on here? We're having some issues, but nonetheless, we're going to take a quick break here, and we will be back here in a moment. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the page here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Check out our TikTok, our Instagram, and our Facebook. All kinds of good stuff here. We'll be back in a moment. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win it. Hutchinson Motorsports TV coming back here in a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Michigan. Our first caution is over with, and the green flag's in the air. Christian, take us around there, Junk.
Oh, where are you, Junk?
Oh, look out!
What a God! What in the world?
Who was that, Christian? Who was it who just flipped? I think that was DJ Weeks again.
I am investigating.
Oh, my. All right, folks. Well, we had a minor good start here. No, okay, it wasn't DJ Weeks. We're going to rewind it here. Try to investigate who this car was. It was a green car is all I know. Who is in the junk green car? Oh, I think we might have found our victim here. In a moment. About to play it green. Watch it right here. Let's check out the Hutchinson Motorsports TV drone cam here. Flying through the fence, and watch this, folks. You're going to see that pace car head in, get out of the way, as the green flag's going to come out here right now. Right here it is, folks. Oh my, unbelievable. I don't even know who it was still, but it was impressive.
I am still investigating.
Christian's trying to find out who it was, and he's on his lid. It's William Duff the fourth.
It was
folks.
William Duff in the
All right,
17.
So William Duff the fourth just went for a hell of a ride here. Let's rewind this here in the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit view. Where was William Duff? See how this restart goes. So he's lined up. He's ready to roll. He's feeling good about his chances. The pace car is in. He gave himself a little bit of a buffer, the car in front of him. He bunches up here, and then they throw the hammer, and oh, what was he doing? He's going to run that guy over no matter what. Goes for a ride. He is junk.
He was off-road racing over cars. He flipped so hard, William Duff the second felt that one.
And so let's rewind this here on the Hutchinson Motorsports nose cam, folks. This Coors Banquet car, I don't know what William's doing here. You see, he's got this buffer he's built up, and then he just jumps it early. He's going to hit this guy no matter what. The checkup in front, I don't think even matters. But here it is. You see him bunching up here, and they throw the green. This big run, he's got no chance. Hits his wheel there. Two, three. I'm counting four, 5, 6, 7 flips or so. I'm counting.
No brakes involved. Oh my.
Yeah, so William Duff's in the pits. He's got no nose now. He's got a junk race car. But I'll tell you who doesn't have a junk race car. A race later, last week's winner, Scott Rickard, the GOAT, leading again here in that 05. How about Rickard?
He has gotten a good start to this season. Second race in, he came home with the money and the trophy last week with a last lap heavy defense to win him that race.
Well, if you want to call it a defense, you kind of just doored him. But hey, I don't blame Scott. If I'm at Daytona there, you're about to get past in the tri-oval. You do what you got to do, and he got the job done there.
You know, it was his lifelong dream to win that Daytona race, and he made it happen. However, he had to do it.
And in checking out the chat here, we got What the Fish in the chat saying, is Greg Hammond good? Well, to answer your question, Fish, no, he's not really good. But, hey, he's out here and he's trying his best. Let's see what Greg Hammond can do for his fans at home.
Greg Hammond rolling on the track right now.
Well, we saw Greg last week. You know, Greg's always thinking about his next vacation. And last week, he junked his car so many times, he probably wasn't even wanting to race this week.
He still thinks he's on vacation, Blake. You look at his profile pic. He is dreaming of his next vacation.
Absolutely, and we're checking out the new camera angles. We got a guy standing down in victory lane with the cars driving around. I sure hope a guy doesn't spin out and run him over. And then here's the beautiful Hutchinson Motorsports TV blimp. Look at the beautiful forest right outside of the track here in Michigan.
Oh my! Just look at these shots. You know, I actually went and I put some job requests out on Indeed and got some new cameramen. You know, a lot of people apply. They just want to work for the #1 broadcasting service in the world. I had to decline a lot of them. They wouldn't fit.
Yeah, and it looks like DJ Weeks just kind of pulled down to the apron and stopped here. Is it a tow it or what's going on with the 97 here? Or maybe he gets an EOL. I don't know. No clue what's going on.
I believe he's going to have a penalty.
Oh, not sure what the penalty's for there. Did you see what happened?
I do not see any reports currently. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on that and see how this goes here tonight. And folks, We got a treat for you here in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We're in the back. We got the drone cam. And folks, look what we can do now. We can fly this thing around. Look at this. This is incredible. This drone is so fast, Christian. This is unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Oh, green flags in the air. Christian, take us around.
Our race leader, Scott Rickard, takes the green flag, heading through the triangle. Not a fan in the stands is on their seat. They are on their feet as we rumble down over 200 miles an hour into turn 1.
Yeah, they're looking good right now. And I just safely landed the drone. The drone is still good for now, but we are rolling here. Aaron Hale currently cruising into 17th spot. Let's go down trackside in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV wall cams here tonight. The most beautiful wall cams in the business. Here they are.
Look at them go. You just see them crossing over side by side. If you look closely towards the front of the race, you see a side-by-side battle with Scott Rickard, and Dylan Grimm fighting it out for the position.
There they go, passing them by, and out front, Scott Rickard, the GOAT, still leading this race, but there's a run on the top side with Waldo right on his back bumper, looking to give him a push here. He doesn't know he's got a wing in the front.
There's 8 cars right there, all battling for that lead position. It's really anyone's race. You can throw a blanket over that pack right now as Dylan Grimm looks to the inside, pokes out to the outside, passing him on the outside now. Has a run. I don't think he's going to be able to keep it, though.
Look at the runs these cars get, you know. When you're outside by yourself, you're just a sitting duck and you watch about 10 cars blow by you. But boy, the drafts here are no joke, and that's why these guys have been junking it all night long.
I'm showing our race leader right now. Scott Rickard was going 220 miles an hour down that front backstretch. These cars are absolutely flying here in Michigan.
Absolutely. You see Rickard the GOAT, and as we're moving his rear cam, boy, look at all these camera angles we got. We're watching the leader, Scott Rickard, moving around, and here comes to the outside. We got the Stacker 2 machine of, I believe that's James Waldo in second.
That is James Waldo in that 89 Stacker 2 machine as we rumble down the backstretch. Scott Rickard still your race leader as we head into 3. Chad White out to the outside making a run for that lead.
Here comes Chad White in a beautiful Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 car on the outside line. Can he get the job done to take over that race lead? He's trying to pass the GOAT, Scott Rickard, right here to his left.
Got that car behind him, the number 69 car. That's Ben Shepard. He's trying to decide if he wants to shoot it 3 high. He's not going to. He's going to stay patient right now as we have like a little bit of a shuffle right there, about 3 or 4 cars back. 3 wide for 4th.
And we're on board with Ben Shepard in the 69 machine, currently running in the 5th position. Somebody's junking it. Timmy McNally just junked it. We're still green for now, though. They're 3 wide here for the race lead as Chad White's trying to insert himself back up here, but he's falling back to about 7th or 8th.
Our front row is 2 wide. Our 2nd and 3rd row is 3 wide right now. Our 4th row is 3 wide right now.
Look at all these cars. They're just 3 wide by 3 wide by 3 wide through most of the field. Let's hop up to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV blimp and see how these guys are wheeling these open-wheel race cars.
Look at that shot right there. It would take one mistake from somebody up front and take out everybody behind them as we're 3 wide for your race lead.
Boy, it's just a matter of time before these guys end up junking it. Let's go down to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV trackside cameras here. Watch them blow by.
Look at how fast they're going.
Look out.
Oh, the leader goes around.
I think that was a lap car. I think that was a lap car. Timmy McNally. Yeah, so we saw Timmy. He junked it earlier. He junked it again there. But here he is. Here's Timmy McNally. I think he's just, I don't know, it almost looks like he did it on purpose. You know, I kind of have suspicions about that spin here. Let's hop on board. That's the Motorsports cockpit view. See what old Timmy's doing. Oh, sneaky Timmy pulling a fast one here. He's a lap car. About to go a lap down. Through the corner. Nice and easy here. I think it's a little loose there. He just lost it. Yeah, all right. It kind of looked like he was swerving his wheel there, but, you know, Timmy junked it earlier, too. He spun out twice there during that run and brings out the caution in front of the field. But I tell you what, our race leaders, how was that battle mission? They were duking it out front.
That was an amazing battle. I was able to review the footage from Timmy McNally's wreck. I can confirm the reason he spun out His rear wing was severely damaged, barely hanging on, so he had no downforce trying to fly around this track as fast as you're going. You just can't make that work with this much speed.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. But, folks, I have pulled the drone back out. Let's fly this thing around the track a little bit. Let's go back, see what's going on. Let's go a little towards the infield. As we turn towards the field, there's the race leader, Scott Rickard, to go. And I'm going to try to drive backwards. Christian, what have you been seeing out of Scott Rickard so far as I get close up on his car for you?
I am seeing almost a dominating performance. We're going to follow him down pit road. Blake, are you sure you can handle this drone?
No, I'm going to have to pull the drone in. Let's go to our new pit road cameras here, folks. If I can find them, give me one moment. Take us down, pit lane.
Here he comes. We're going to go to our pit stop camera. This is the official pit stop. We're going to watch all our race leaders pit all night from this right here. He's probably going to get 4 tires of fuel. These IndyCar pit stops don't take long. As he heads on out, we're going to see who wins this race off of pit road. Looks like it's going to be...
Scott Rickard was the first one out. So Scott Rickard, and then he's got 5 cars that elected to not pit. So how are you feeling about those 5 that stayed out there? I'm not sure the tire wear is going to matter, but I think it was just all about getting fuel for these guys.
I see. I don't know much. My oval race and stuff don't know much about IndyCar, so I don't know what their fuel strategy is. I know this league runs 100% though, so we're gonna see how much fuel strategy comes into play with 110 laps total, with 20 laps down.
Yeah, well, you
know
what?
I don't think much.
Since we don't know, let's pull somebody in here that does. Scott, Blake, and Christian up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do.
Hey, so what's the strategy you going in? Was that a fuel only stop for you?
Yeah.
All right, so how important is fuel? I mean, I don't think you had much tire wear there. Are you just trying to top off, see if you can make it the rest of the way?
Yeah, hopefully just kind down when if we make it to a green flag stop later, to have a shorter one.
Yeah, so how many laps can you go on fuel here?
About 37.
Okay, 37. So that's definitely a lot less than I expected, but that makes sense. So, all right, well, right now, how are you feeling about your chances of lining up in 5th? You got 4 guys in front of you that stayed out there.
The way this package with the runs you can get, not good.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna die.
I will say that was a pretty good run up front. You guys were 3 wide through most of the field, and then the lap car there had some damage and ended up wiping out right in front of you. Christian, what do you got for Scott here before he gets ready to roll?
I just hold on to this race. You're looking good out there. I'm hoping to see you in victory lane again here tonight.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen with this car. It's not. I race this car once a year, and it's usually at Indy. So I know last time I drove at a track not named Indy.
Yeah, well, hey, we definitely wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, we talk to you again later, but we'll shoot you back down your team so you can get ready to go green.
Thank you.
There's Scott Rickard, the GOAT. He won last week. He's going to try to go back-to-back into an IndyCar. That would be impressive with a guy that doesn't drive this car very often.
Yep, you know, he doesn't sound very self-confident as we're growing to know, but I tell you, he's looking like he knows what he's doing out there, even if he don't.
100%. You know, Scott, he's always a humble guy, but I tell you what, I've seen this guy race many different cars, and he's always out front no matter what car he's in. But nonetheless, Aaron Hale going to kick off from the front position here. And folks, you might notice we're doing the IndyCar realistic starts here, single file through the field. You're about to see the pace car head in, get out of the way. We are about to drop the hammer, go green again here at Michigan for the Motor City 220 as our second caution has ended. Christian, take us green.
Aaron Hale could go to any time that pace truck pulls in. The restart is on him. He's going to wait to the restart zone. Probably, yep, green flag is in the air. Look at the flagman waving that green flag as that rumble by him. Heading down the front stretch. Like I said before, reaching speeds of 200 miles an hour before turn 1.
Boy, look at all those cars. The guy in last is starting almost a half a lap down by the time he got rolling with this single file start. But out front, Aaron Hale feeling good about his chances as they are duking it out right now.
I'm glad they're keeping a distance off of that wall to save our camera. Nonetheless, they're going to zoom by here in 3 and 4. Side by side for your race win. Or Aaron Hale just broke that up, actually. Look at this run Scott Rickard has live.
Yeah, Rickard wheeling that thing up to second right now, looking to make a move on the inside. Aaron Poplin, your race leader. Boy, I tell you what, Christian, if you would have bet me $100 that the 63 of Aaron Poplin would lead this race, I would have lost $100.
Well, doesn't he, like in the brief 5150 history of IndyCar, doesn't he have a race win or two under his belt?
I don't even know if he ever even won. They said I do know he had a points championship, but I believe he finished second a lot. But right now we're watching Aaron Poplin, their race leader, as the Tire Pros 05 car of Scott Rickard pulls to his outside.
Scott Rickard, I think he's playing chess out here tonight. He came out there with a poker face. He said, yeah, I'm not really good at this car, but is he showing us right now that he's not good at this car? I don't think so.
Oh, he's not. Right now we got a GoPro strapped there to the top of Aaron Hale's car there, and he is feeling good. Aaron Hale currently running third, running that high line as Aaron Poplin takes back his race lead from Scott Rickard.
Watch this run. Aaron Hale decides to back out of it, not really wanting to shoot it 3 wide for the lead. I think that's a smart move. Stay patient. But we'll be 3 wide for second place all night.
And look at all these cameras we got strapped here to Greg Cammon's car there on the right front suspension cam. This is a beautiful view with the vacation fiend, Greg Hammond.
Kind of brings up a popular meme, something about a holiday. Ain't that right, Blake?
Absolutely. As Aaron Poplin still feeling good about his chances out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He is still your race leader as we're watching the Hutchinson Motorsports TV wing cam with your race leader, Aaron Poplin.
Look at all those cars, like an angry bunch of hornets behind them. Oh my, what a race we've had so far, Blake.
Boy, this has been much cleaner than expected. You know, we had a couple cautions, but they were kind of cheap ones as a couple cars spun into the infield there and somehow brought out a yellow.
Oh, car round. Oh, hard hit. Oh my God. We have a car sideways on the track in turn 4, excuse me. He is coming to a stop on his side.
Josh Gratton's junk.
Josh Gratton involved.
Let's rewind it here. We know Gratton's involved. See what happens. Let's hop on board in the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit view with Mr. Josh Gratton. See what happens here. Hang on. There it is. So we're going to play it from here. Well, there's Gratton. He's cruising here down the backstretch. One guy goes to the infield, says they're about to junk it. I'm leaving. Gratton sees him swerving all over the damn place here. There's one guy off pace there on the high side. Goes into the corner here. Oh, a guy just spins it on the infield, comes up the track and junks it.
Oh, he kind of gets ran over there by another car. We got to figure out who that is sliding through on their side.
It's the 08 there. I believe that's Bafoli. It should be if he's in the 08. Let me make sure. Yep, Alex Bafoli, the Italian. Tell you what, Alex Bafoli, he is straight off the boat from Italy. He cannot understand English. Well, here he is, the Italian, cruising down the backstretch here. Let's see what he says. Going into the corner here, feeling good about his chances. A car spins out. He tries to go up to avoid him. Unable to do so. Smokes the wall. He might be dead.
He slides on his side, a balancing act, I might say. Look at him go as he just tumbles on over. He doesn't get back to his wheels. Mamma mia, that Italian is not having a good night.
Christian, I think what you meant to say there was, Mamma mia, that car is junk. Alex Bafoli is finished. He has towed it to pit road.
Looking at the junk report for the night. Brian Burchett, Everett F. Lane, Josh Gratton, Bryce Barfield, Kyle A. McCoy, William Duff, Timmy Manali, and Alex Bafoli are all 1 or more laps down.
Yeah, you know, it's been tough. And, you know, I mean, I'm still going to say this has been a pretty good race. I mean, that was a big pileup we had, but that stuff's going to happen when you got basically 40 Indy cars out here. But these guys up front especially have been putting on a show as Aaron Poplin leading this race right now in the 63. You know what? Let's pull Aaron in here. He might be the new IndyCar GOAT. Aaron Poplin. Let's see here. Let's find him. Pull him into the booth. Aaron, Blake, and Christian in the booth. You copy it?
Yep, got you loud and clear.
Boy, I tell you what, that 63 Amtrak machine is bad fast out front. How is it feeling?
Well, I feel a lot safer up there.
I don't blame Christian. What are you seeing out of Mr. Poplin here?
I'm rooting you on. You know, we're all 5150 brethren here. Just doing it in the IndyCar. I'm rooting for you, Aaron. Keep it up there, man.
I'm going to do what I can. When everybody went to pit, I figured that was the best time to get a little bit of track position and see what I could do.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Now, how are you looking on fuel right now? You haven't came down pit road yet.
I've pitted a few times, actually. I got enough fuel to go another like 24 or so laps.
All right. Hey, so pitting under the early cautions there seems to have helped you out.
That's what I figured. I can make it one more stop if I go the whole way, I think.
Well, that would be impressive. Well,
just
hey,
gotta-
you know what? Let Christian, you got anything for him before we send him back down to his team?
Nope, just keep it on its wheels and park it in victory lane. I'd love to see you win here tonight, Aaron.
I'm going to do what I can for old 5150 BCI and Amtrak here.
All right, Aaron Poplin, best of luck the rest of this one.
Thank you.
There's your race leader, Aaron Poplin, feeling good. The strategy pays off for him. He goes down pit road after the early caution, and then the second caution when everybody else pits, he stays out there, and here he is out front trying to hold off that 05 of Scott Rickard.
You know, I hate to say this too early as we're only 28 laps in. Aaron Poplin and Scott Rickard seem to have this race well under control early here in this Motor City 220.
And you know, Christian, we forgot to make our picks here tonight. Go ahead, you make your pick first.
You know, and I hate to just go ahead and pick the race leader, but he's obviously got something up his sleeve. He's already gotten the lead based off strategy. Aaron Poplin's going to bring it home tonight here in Michigan.
All right, well, he's taking Aaron Poplin. You know what I'm taking? I'm taking Scott Rickard, the GOAT. He's going back-to-back, going to win it tonight. But the pace car is in. We are just about ready to roll and go green here once again in Michigan as they enter the restart zone. Aaron Poplin taking us green. Green flag in the air in front of a sold-out crowd.
That sold-out crowd has not one person on its seat as we rumble down the triangle into turn one. Aaron Poplin with almost a two-car gap. Scott Rickard also with a two-car gap. As we are so spaced out, you could park buses between these racers.
Yeah, Aaron Poplin's shaking the trap like they're in Indianapolis. We got a couple sideways. Caution is out. They just jumped it on the back. Larry Griffin and Derek Offman are jumped. Here it is. Oh my! Larry Griffin just so he throws the block to go up high, and he just kind of went too high, and then he had to take the car left, and it brings him down the track right in front of Offerman, and Larry Griffin is now jumped. So Scott Rickard, now your race leader out front here, gets around Poplin. So my pick to win it, Scott Rickard, the GOAT. I think he can go back-to-back. I tell you what, he is a wheel man here tonight. The 05, Scott Rickard looking good, but Aaron Poplin, Christian's pick, right behind him in second.
I just think Aaron's going to have a good shot. It's been a long time since I've seen Aaron in victory lane. And once he gets up there, though, you know, it's kind of out of his comfort zone, but I believe in him.
I definitely don't blame you there, but looking through the field, let's see how many cars are still rolling here. At least 27, maybe some more. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably still at least 30 out there, so I'm still expecting quite a few more wrecks here tonight. But currently we're in lap number 30 here. If we can just get rolling, once they get under green, we get some good racing, but these restarts can be tricky.
In the chat, we have someone asking how the 3 car is looking. He is running back in the 24th position right now before pit cycle, so we're going to see if he stays out. He's going to bring it down pit road. Ryan Lynch from Mooresville, North Carolina, not looking too good tonight, is he, Blake?
Nah, I'm not going to lie. Ryan Lynch kind of looking like junk here in this open wheel IndyCar. He's going to try and wheel that thing to the front, but he's trying to stay out of trouble here tonight as we have about, let's see, actually only 16 cars stayed out there, so most of the field coming down pit lane. Let's see who wins the race off of pit road out of the cars that are pitting. There we go. I believe that's Zach Kreitz. Yep, Zach Kreitz wins the race off of pit road as the others fall in behind him here. Currently, Kreitz running in the 17th position out of Denver, so has to feel good for him. He might not be leading the race. Unfortunately, he's stuck in the middle of the pack, but he is the first car with a full tank of gas. But we're checking out the chat here. We appreciate all you guys tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Be sure, folks, you got some time. We're under yellow. Click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page, especially subscribe. We really would appreciate it. We're pushing for some subscribers. It would be very important for us if you could do so. And nonetheless, we appreciate everybody in the chat as well. We got Real Talk Racing, Nostra Cobb, What the Fish, BMC 57 Rocks, and some others in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in.
This time around, our pace truck's going to be flipping that switch to turn these lights out. Going to let these guys go. Racing one more time here. Lap 32. We're going to be taking lap 33 here of 110 laps.
Yep, and there's the Tire Pros, Bass Pro Shops 05 machine of Scott Rickard out front as your race leader. And then we hop up to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV blimp to check out the rest of the field. Let's drop back a little bit, see how these guys are looking. There's Derek Offerman. He was just spun out there in that number 20 machine out of Earlville, Iowa.
Gotta say, if we could get a close-up of that 20 car, if it's at all possible, tell me in the chat who you think he might be a fan of, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't figure it out. I don't think it's obvious enough, is it, Blake?
I'm flying around this drone around the car. I'm circling the car here, and yeah, I tell you what, every time I see Mr. Offerman in a car, it is a Tony Stewart themed machine. So he's definitely a big Tony Stewart fan. So I'm just gonna fly this thing around, and we're gonna bring it in. Oh no! Look out! Oh God, we lost the drone, Christian.
Oh, Blake, man, that was $250.
All right, well, we are one drone down, but don't you worry, folks. I got a few more up here in the booth. We're going to get calibrated, and we'll try to use those later, see if we can get it rolling. But let's jump back out front. Scott Rickard going to take off from the first position. Then we got Poplin, Hale, Hammond, and Grimm. Your top five as a pace truck heads in. We're going to hop on board with Dylan Grimm for this restart. We're going to go to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV nose cam with our fifth place runner, Dylan Grimm. Christian, take us.
Green flag is out. We're on the nose can of Dylan Grimm right now, heading down as he crosses the line. Look at him fly down the track towards turn one. As we switch to these Gopher cams, brought to you by Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service.
Yeah, they're looking good up front. Let's see if the guys in the back can stay friendly as the race leaders are duking it out for the lead. As Aaron Poplin is taking back the race lead on the outside line.
These guys are just impeccable here tonight. I swear they are racing each other. It's like no one else in this field has a shot.
Yeah, they might just run around and lap the field. Aaron Poplin, Scott Rickard, they might be the GOATs of INDYCARs. Aaron Poplin is rolling that high line.
You know, they can work together. There is actually a drafting method in these INDYCARs. You can't bump draft, but if you can just figure out a way to slingshot by each other, that could be the winning strategy. Get it to work out here.
Aaron Poplin feels content here. He's going to go back in the line here as the rest of the fields appear to have caught him.
Oh, that purple car behind him is that I can't really make out the number who that is. Getting a little squirrely there as we are four wide
for the race lead.
For your race lead.
That is incredible. Boys, Chad White there in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 car on the outside line. He's going to have to lift out or he would have smoked the car in front of him. And it looks like Bowling going to do the same as well. But right now, Rickard's your race leader. But he's still side by side with Aaron Poplin.
Look at just that shot behind him as it looks like a few of those cars had to check up big time there to save it from being junk.
Boy, how about those aggressive moves by Poplin? He's getting within an inch of Rickard. He's either going to junk this thing or win it. One of the two tonight.
36 laps in it. I think Aaron probably has a good feel for the car. You just got to know where that front wing is because if you flip it, the car is not going to be stuck to the track like it is right now. As we're 3 wide for your race lead again.
And I tell you what, do not count out that 23 car. I know this is your first season here in this league, but Dylan Grimm, that kid is an absolute wheelman. I am not kidding. Any car he gets in, he is going to be out front, and he's going to have a shot to win.
Looks like he's trying to make a run on that high side. Just doesn't have anybody in front of him to get that draft off bump in that Hooters thing.
It's Chad White currently running in the 7th position. They are 2 by 2 through most of the field here. We are racing hard out front just like we have all night long.
You know, I think we severely underestimated this racing here. We thought it was going to be more wrecking and carnage than it is, but you know, we had some of the best battles for the lead I think we've ever seen here recently here.
Absolutely. And, you know, if we didn't have a few weak iRacing cautions, single car spins on the apron, I mean, we would have only had 1 or 2 yellows by now. But we've had a couple unfortunate ones as they're racing hard, 3 wide for the lead. One's going to back out for now, but let's see if he can get back up there.
Still staying right there. 3 wide, 4 wide again. Oh my, we keep getting that 4th car on the outside. These guys are going to have nowhere to go if any of these leaders make contact.
And here they
Look
come.
at
Look
this
out.
shot.
Almost smokes the wall there, but we're still rolling here. And here's the whole field going by the flag stand, jumping back out front. Still 3 wide for the race lead.
What a shot as these cars rumbled down the backstretch. See these cars jumping and driving for a position there. You almost think they're turning around before you realize that they're just trying to break the draft.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, Scott Rickard appears to really like that bottom line. He hasn't really gone up high at all. He is just sticking to that line. So let's see if that plays out here later on as Aaron Popham continues to roll the high side. And here comes the 23 of Grimm to take it. 3 wide once again.
You know, that might be the bottom line. He might be on to something, because when Aaron Popham was leading, if you remember, Blake, where was he? He was right there on that bottom line also.
Definitely so. We still got a 3-car battle for the race lead. Rickard continues to lead, and now Gavin Adams inserted himself into the battle up front, and he just lost some ground there. Adams dropped all the way back to 6th. He was up to 2nd there for a minute.
We've been 4 wide for this race lead, more than we've been 3 wide, and that's saying something.
And these guys racing hard. We're still green for now, but it's just a matter of time. Somebody's going to junk it soon, but boy, this has been impressive as we're on lap number 41 out of 110 here in Michigan. Look at that move.
Yeah, just to say how fast we're going. Michigan, a big 2-mile oval. We are turning these laps. Our race leader's last lap was 32.961 seconds, so in just in under 33 seconds, we're going around 2 miles.
Yep, and then Josh Whitaker took that outside line. He had a big run, briefly took over the race lead, but it didn't last long as he's getting loose on the outside line. He's going to fall back a little bit. So the race lead going to go back out front to Rickard, and we're going to pull up the Hutchinson Motorsports TV dashboard cam. You're going to see how fast they're going exactly.
223 miles an hour max, they look like they're... Scott Rickard's on to something, though. If you protect that bottom line, it doesn't matter what kind of draft anyone
They're junking it in the back. Caution's out.
Oh, my.
It all starts. Timmy McNally wrecks again. I tell you what, Timmy's trying to break the record of wrecks here tonight. Let's see what happened. Let's play this slowly. Oh, okay. The orange car comes down and hits him there on the outside line. Not sure who that one was. It might have been Brian.
That's Brian Lynch.
Yeah, Brian Lynch just tries to clear himself, and he wasn't even close. I don't even know if Brian Lynch was out his door yet.
Oh, did he hit the pit wall? We have to let that roll next time.
Yeah, we will, but let's change it up to Brian Lynch's view here. Let's hop on board. See what Brian Lynch was seeing. Find him here. So here's Brian Lynch. He's cruising. He's like, all right, I'm good to go. Well, that wasn't Brian Lynch. It was somebody else. But Brian Lynch got north. Oh!
Somebody jumped him.
Yeah, so we thought Brian Lynch was the orange car that came down, but he was not. It was another orange car. So here's Brian Lynch there. Let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports chopper cam here and get a little better view. Here's the wreck right in front of Brian Lynch there. You see that orange car up front clear himself, smokes him into that, then one into the pit wall here. Oh, barely avoids the pit wall. Could have just died.
Gavin Adams, I believe, was the orange car. The Kubota 82 car.
That's unfortunate. Adams was having a good run here tonight. He was up front there for a while, then ended up dropping down. So here's Gavin Adams here. Let's watch the Hutchinson Motorsports TV recam here. Is Adams in the 82. Thinks he's clear here. He's not even close. Smokes him into the car. Big tangle up. They junk it. One almost annihilates the pit wall. Narrowly avoids it. One ramps it in the air. And half the field's jumped.
I tell you one thing. If he hit that pit wall, we would have been having a memorial service here next week.
I definitely agree with that. And right now, Nate Lynch, your race leader on a pit maneuver. I believe everybody else must have pit there because Scott Rickard was your race leader and not anymore. Pulling up the pit strategy board. We'll see when they cross it around, but that had to be what happened because Nate Lynch was not the leader before. So Lynch gonna work on a different alternate pit strategy there. We see he pit 13 laps ago. We're going to see if he can make this thing work out as we're almost halfway done here tonight for the Motor City 220 at Michigan. That's a good looking, is that a Miller Lite car?
Definitely. I'm a Michelob Ultra fan myself, but, you know, nothing wrong with a Miller Lite.
I tell you what, Nate Lynch, he changes sponsors like he changes underwear. I'm not sure if he's choosing to change his sponsors or they're all just dropping them.
You know, one thing I could say, Nate Lynch, that gambling addiction he has, I had to help him out. I went ahead and, you know, slid him some money over the weekend. He was really in a bad spot, you know, selling off some diecasts. I actually bought one for him, you know, felt sorry for him. But if you're looking for some diecasts, he's got a lot of good ones for sale. Hit him up.
Yeah, you know, Christian, the unfortunate thing there, you know, Nate Lynch, he's actually selling his family heirlooms to fuel his golf bets. And it's just unfortunate. I keep telling him, Nate, you need to stop, buddy. Every single weekend, he's just doubling down. You wouldn't believe the amounts of money he's dropping on these golf tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, golf is an unpredictable sport. And when you're betting on it, you know, anything could happen. These professionals could just show up and say, you know what? I ain't feeling it today. And then you lose all the money because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I tell him this every week, and he says, I'm long overdue, Blake. I'm going to win the big one. So his plan is every week he just doubles his bet, and then eventually he's going to win it and then get all his money back. But, I mean, eventually you start to just run out of money. I mean, instead of selling his family heirlooms, he might be selling his house here soon.
That would be unfortunate. But, you know, he'll have some more money to bet if he can win here tonight. As we're heading around turns 3 and 4 for the last time under the 5th caution here.
Yep, the field is set. And again, I did confirm the rest of the field pit. So Nate Lynch is the only one out there that didn't pit. You don't have to worry about tires here, but it's all about saving the fuel. But the pace car is in. Field is set. Nate Lynch out front going to set the pace here as he enters the restart zone in front of a sold-out crowd. Green flag in the air once again.
Waving that flag, zooming by the flag stand there. Look at the speed of these cars. Oh, we got a car in the wall, fanning out 3 wide, but we're going to keep it green here.
Nate Lynch still out front, but here comes Rickard right behind him here, looking to take back the race lead. Rickard wants back what's his.
I'm watching Josh Whitaker make that run from the 2nd position, trying to get down low. If he could get ahead of the race lead and keep that bottom line, he'd be able to do something.
He almost made an aggressive move there. He almost stuck his nose in a hole in the middle that was not there, but he decided to back out, rightfully so.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did. We're 3 wide for a race lead, 3 wide for 2nd. My, what a race we have going on here.
Yes, sir. Scott Rickard leading this thing with Aaron Poplin 2nd, followed by Bowling, Whitaker, and White, your top 5, but the rest of them are all right there with them as well. Christian, how about the vacation fiend, Greg Hammond, right now running at 6th?
He heard about that holiday you could have for, you know, what was it, 50 pounds off. He is trying to win some money so he can take advantage of those savings.
Absolutely, and here it is, Christian.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Greg Hammond trying to take a Jet 2 holiday, wants to park it in Victory Lane. He's used up all his monies on his last 5 vacations. He's taken 17 vacations this calendar year already.
That is something there, as we are 3 wide for your race lead, trying to poke 4. Not quite there yet, though. So we're going down the backstretch.
It makes me wonder, is that 05 car even legal? Like, somehow, he's just been out front the entire race. It's like nobody can stop him. There's a 4 wide for the race lead.
You know, anyone could win this race still, but I can guarantee you one thing. Oh, it's a junket! Oh,
Look
my!
out!
That just changed the entire race! Aaron Poplin involved!
Oh, of course he was involved. Didn't you pick him, Christian?
You know, the curse continues. Ladies and gentlemen.
Poplin
Oh my!
was putting on a clinic tonight, and I think he just comes down here. Let's, you know, I mean, this is tight quarters racing. I don't blame anybody, but let's go up to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Let's go to the blimp cam. Here we go, folks. So here it is. Keep an eye on Aaron Poplin there. They're 4 wide out front. Poplin's there in the middle lane, and this comes down there. Yeah, just kind of squeezes him. Yeah, he just wrecked himself, honestly. It's unfortunate there for Poplin. He was having a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, my curse, my commentator's curse continues. I may have picked Scott Wickard to win accurately last week, but this week, as you see, Aaron Poplin just comes on down the track. That is that a Valvoline car? It just has nowhere to go.
Yeah,
he tries to go down, but
boy, yeah, the Valvoline car, he
Scott
came
Rickard
down, just kept coming down and down and down. He's like, "Are you going to stop?" And Aaron never did, and unfortunately, he junks it. And I believe that's Kyle Bolin in the Pepsi car. He's junked too.
you know, Cal A. McCoy might have some side damage there. I'm not sure. Trying to get an eye on it here, as he did get involved in that wreck ever so slightly. He does his, I believe they call it the tub, has some right side damage to it. I hope that's not going to affect him too aerodynamically. Oh, he is.
Who knows?
Car don't
Doesn't
sound
matter.
too good.
Doesn't matter. All we know is we got a bunch of junk race cars. Somebody's getting the wave around right now. But Scott Rickard, my pick to win it, he's still safe out front. He has to be licking his chops right now, because I tell you what, that 63 car of Aaron Poplin was making Rickard sweat it out up front, and he is happy to see him be junk. So, Christian, let's take a quick break here. We haven't had many here tonight. So, folks, we'll be back here in a moment. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Hutchinson Motorsports TV World's #1 streaming service. We'll be back here in a jiffy. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Michigan with the Motor City 220. Scott Rickard out front, Chad White in second, and Aaron Hale third. Christian, what are you feeling out of these guys so far?
You know, I saw a trend, and I think it's going to be something that contributes to our race win. Anyone who has that bottom line tends to have the race under control. That's about to go green.
All right, the field is set. Pace truck is in, and the green flag's in the air. Scott Rickard out front, feeling good as your race leader.
Look at them go. Scott Rickard, he just gets down to the bottom, and once they get up to speed, he can just basically control this race.
Yeah, you know, you
seen it all
can.
night.
Absolutely, yeah, you can get that run and pass on the outside, but it is not easy. And Scott Rickard is feeling good about the bottom line so far.
Chad White above him trying to make a run. He just can't get there just yet.
He's just not fast enough. I mean, honestly, I think that 05 car might be illegal.
We went through Tech, but, you know, Tech was earlier this morning, and they had some garage time after Tech. So, I don't know if he maybe paid off an official to turn his head and look away while he made some adjustments.
You know, I mean, I was walking by and I saw a wrench in Scott's hand earlier this afternoon after Tech was done.
You know, it takes all it takes is a little bit of a change of that. Oh, what happened?
Rickard onto the apron there, almost spins out, has to lift, and he's going to lose a lot of track position as the GOAT is going to be human here for once.
That might take him out of contention for the entire race unless he can get back up on pit strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough to get through the field. I mean, oh gosh, look out. The car just smoked the wall, but we're still rolling for green as Chad White's your race leader. But here comes Aaron Hale, and that 4 car is outside.
You should see the run that this Dylan Grimm has behind him.
That's what I was going to say. Look who's still here, Dylan Grimm. He's just been hanging around the whole race. I don't think he's led a lap, but he's probably been in the top 5, top 3 all night long.
Oh my, what a battle we have for our race lead right now.
And here's our race leaders.
What I was going to say is, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the halfway point. What a crazy train it's been so far tonight. And as I mentioned, crazy train, ladies and gentlemen, today we lost Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness.
Always bad news to hear stuff like that. Ozzy Osbourne, he's lived a rough but fun life. I'm sure he's happy about the way he went out at least.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, he said all his life he's been over the top. He don't know what he's doing. He just knows he don't want to stop. Kind of like our race leader, Chad White, here tonight. He don't know what he's doing, but he knows he don't want to stop because he's going to take it home here tonight at Michigan.
I tell you what, it'd be good to see. We got a lot of money tied up in that car, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV house car. Chad White in the 36. We have funded every dime on that race machine, and it feels good to see him leading this race.
You know, Blake, while we're not on the air, I want to tell you a little secret. I took a wrench to Chad White's car, too.
Yeah, well, we might have some little specialty things, and I may have worked on the motor a little bit this week, but hey, we know the tech guys, so you're just going to have to deal with it. And, folks, boy, we thought Scott Rickard might be out of it, but look, that car's illegal, Christian. He's right on the back bumper already of the race leader.
Definitely is, and, you know, Scott Rickard trying to pass on the outside. He should know
He doesn't even need a draft, Christian. He just pulled up to the outside and blew by him like he was sitting still. This is ridiculous.
That car, he has I think he's running jet fuel.
He's got to be. This is just ridiculous. He's not even using drafts or anything. As we take the Hutchinson Motorsports drone cam, folks, I got the second drone. We're flying around here. Oh, look out. Almost hit the fence here. Let me climb back through it. All right, there we go. We're good. And zooming back out. Chad White still your race leader. They're currently 3 wide in a 3-car battle for second. But Scott Rickard's just going to leave him because he is illegal.
I didn't know our drone was small enough to fit through a chain link fence or that you were good enough to drive one through it. But daggone, Blake.
Yeah, I tell you what, these are these new Chinese drones, and they are so tiny, you can't even really see them by the naked eye.
My.
Here's Greg
Hammond on his jet to holiday, trying to make it to Michigan. Victory lane. Caution is out.
Oh.
Why?
Let's see, Aaron Hale's crashing. That's unfortunate. Hale's had a hell of a race. Let's see what happens. Oh, he just lost it on the apron there. Ooh, he was lucky he didn't get annihilated.
Yep, very lucky. Oh, seems to be safe now.
He didn't even have to deal with an ARCA brake there. So, yeah, you know, that's just another unfortunate yellow. I don't know what iRacing's doing here at Michigan, but it has got the trigger finger on the yellows. You would think Chase Elliott was out there and needed a caution right now.
Kind of like NASCAR, you know, a car spins by itself. Caution! Cody Ware hard into the wall at 98 mile an hour.
That's fine. Yeah, you know, you never know. Never know what they're going to do, but nonetheless, out front, Chad White in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV 36 car leading this race. Let's see what they elect to do. It might be about time to come down pit road and top off on fuel here.
Definitely so. We'll have to change to the pit cameras, see that they check those out. Chad White comes down. Our race leader. Multiple stay out, though.
Yeah, a bunch of them actually staying out here is... say a little over half the field coming in, but Chad White and Scott Rickard both coming down pit road. Dylan Grimm staying out, so he's changing it up.
You know, this may be a good move as long as they can make it to the end. But, you know, these other cars staying out, they definitely, I'd assume, have one stop left. But I can't report. The GOAT, Aaron Poplin, is your lucky dog this time around. Excuse me. He is going to be back on the lead lap, so keep an eye on him making his way through the field.
Good to see, but Scott Rickard gets around Chad White there on pit road, so they are full of fuel. I believe those guys should be good on fuel. I know they're going to be close. We're probably going to get another caution. So my bet is anybody that just pit is probably good the rest of the way. And then the guys still out there, they're just kind of gambling. So I'm seeing actually only 8 guys stayed out there, so fewer than I expected. Tommy Osborne going to move up to 8th there, the hillbilly out of West Virginia, in the 55 machine.
Nostra Cobb in the chat says the 3 car is going to make y'all eat crow. Let's do the 3 car update right now.
It's Ryan Lynch. We were dogging him earlier. Let's see where he's running at now. Ryan Lynch currently sitting. No, I think you're wrong, Nostra Cobb. Ryan Lynch is running 25th, and he is still junk.
A Thunderbird paint scheme looking fine, though.
It is a good-looking car. I'll give Ryan that. Has a good-looking race car, but not much speed.
I was able to see the Thunderbirds a couple months back. They put on a magnificent show. He's actually leaving pit road.
Yeah, he should be good to go. He's still out there and rolling, but he's got some serious work to do. And Brian Samara going down pit lane here this time around. He's going to be running around the 20th position.
JT Tinker in the chat. He's out of this race, but he's rooting on his BCI teammate, Aaron Poplin. But, you know, JT, you're rooting on for him, but he was one of the leading guys trying to fire you a couple months back. I mean, man.
Yeah, you know, JT, they were trying to improve drivers on their race team. They found a more talented driver that they really courted and tried to get him to join their team. But fortunately enough for JT, that driver declined.
You know, the driver declined, but after he took all the team favors that they gave him, the team tried really hard, bought him tickets to a very big race, and he took advantage of that. But, you know, then said, nah, I ain't gonna drive for you. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, Christian, they offered to fly the said driver out to Indianapolis. They courted him, gave him tickets to the Indy 500. Boy, they pulled all the stops, I tell you what. But then after it was over, I don't think that driver ever had any intention of joining the team.
Oh, JT in the chat says, my job is always on the line at BCI. I live in constant fear of losing my ride. Absolutely, JT. And let me just tell you, we heard it last week. Brian, your team owner, didn't talk too kindly of you.
Yeah, I honestly reckon this week isn't going to really help your chances here, JT. But JT's going to try to turn this season around. Still a long way to go here next week. Christian, you know where we're going to be next week? Oh, we're going green, by the way. Green flag in the air. Take us around.
Our race leader, Dylan Grimm, takes up your race lead. That is, from what I hear, Blake, you told me about Dylan Grimm. This could be dangerous for the rest of the field.
Yeah, the only thing he's got working against him, he's going to have to pit one more time, I'm pretty sure. But Dylan Grimm, he is an absolute wheel man out front. Anything with 4 wheels on it, Dylan Grimm's going to put it up front.
To answer the previous question, next week we're heading to Darlington, South Carolina for the Southern 200. We're going to be racing Gen 4 cars around Darlington, my home track. I can't wait for that.
Boy, that's going to be fun to see those Gen 4 cars roar around Darlington. You know, those cars sliding around, a lot of tire wear. It's going to be a good one to see here.
Our race leader, Dylan Grimm, trying to maintain that bottom line. We know from all night that just is how you keep the lead. It's Aaron Poplin. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of squirrely around there. He needs to get up there and get the trap, but, you know, he just wants to stay slow, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's thinking there's going to be a wreck soon, so he's just hanging back. So right now, he's all the way back, sitting in 24th. But let's jump back out front here. James Waldo's inserted himself up front, currently in the 2nd position. Where's Waldo? Here he is.
My.
And we got the Hudson Motorsports wing cam with James Waldo out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Christian, what have you been seeing out of this 89 car?
You know, consistency, getting himself up to the front. You know, we don't know what his pit strategy is going to be, as we know he might have to pit one more time, as Scott Rickard's also making his way to the front too. So we just had a 4-wide pass for the lead. We might need to get a replay of that pass.
Boy, I tell you, Christian, Scott Rickard just pit. And here he is. He's battling for the lead already. This is ridiculous. This guy is cheating.
That car cannot be legal.
I've never seen anything like it. He's just working through the field. He's not even using the draft. He's just pulling to the outside, passing people like it's nothing.
You know, and I think he has some ESPN to the broadcast, but the spotter said they're onto you. You need to fall back a little bit. So that's why he fell back there.
Yeah, he's playing dumb now. He's like, oh, I'm not fast enough to take over the lead. I better hang out here. But we just busted him, though. He jumped from about 10th to 1st there in a matter of a few laps. Oh, look out. Car on the apron. He's able to save it there as he continues to roll. I believe that's Greg Hammond.
The run these cars could get is just amazing. It's for 3 wide for a race lead again.
They are duking it out here for the race lead once again. Let's go down track side and watch them rip it around this.
Camera just getting shook like it's trying to be ripped off the wall.
Big move there to the outside line here as these guys are trying to win this race here on lap number 69, heading into 70 here. 40 laps remaining.
40 laps to go. I think we're going to have another mix-up or 2 coming through as our race leaders staying constantly 3 wide. Constantly also just people were 3 wide
Look
with
at that move.
4 wide.
Chad White sticks his nose where there's really not room, and it works out and takes over the race lead from 5th. What a move.
That could be a big move.
Wow.
Oh,
that was
he gets loose and washes up the track.
That was an aggressive move from White. We told him to either win this race or don't even come back to the shop, and he's putting it all on the line, including his life.
Thomas Holder, your new race leader for now. He don't have that bottom line, so I don't think he's going to be able to hold it.
But
Chad
Christian, I tell you
White
what,
looking to the inside.
Thomas Holder, you know, he started all the way back in the 33rd position. Here he is battling for the lead. We haven't talked much about this guy, but the North Carolina native Thomas Holder in the 00 is bad fast. Thomas Brothers Country Ham number 00 car, your race leader for now, but Dylan Grimm on the bottom line as he throws a block to the 28 of Whitaker.
Look at the racing we have just for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Then I can throw a blink over
Oh,
the
look
wall.
out!
Oh, no!
Now, John, no, he's dead! He's dead! That's incredible! Oh, my, that's the most violent wreck I've ever seen in my life, folks. Who was it?
Thomas Holder. Thomas Holder, our race leader.
He's dead, ladies and gentlemen. Pull the tarps out,
We have
Christian.
witnessed.
Pull the tarps out and shut the track down. Throw the tarps on the car. This reminds me of Dan Weldon at Las Vegas. Let's rewind it here. See what happened. This was incredible here tonight, folks. There he is. He's junk. Let's rewind it manually because he flipped so many times.
Traumatized.
Christian, could you imagine? Try to count how many flips this was. Here it is.
Let's watch him here.
There's the 00.
Has a great run underneath him. The 05 the car gets loose in front of him, hard into him, and it just.
Folks, that's incredible. It's a tear just shed down my eye. Thomas Holder, there's no way he's alive.
He's not alive. So glad we have realistic physics in this game.
Boy, the physics of this game are incredible. We're going to watch it one more time, though. Even though he just died, most TV cameras would shy away from this. But we're going to play it one more time. Let's hop on board with the 00 time is Holder. He's cruising in the outside line, going through the corner, feeling good. He's your race leader. But there's some trouble underneath him. Gets stored into the wall hard. He flips 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know, 30 times. He has junked it. He's still rolling. He's still rolling. Car comes to a stop, folks. He's not on the brake because, unfortunately, he's dead. Thomas Holder.
Be sure to tune in next week for Tom Holder's memorial service. I just got word from the medical center. He is pronounced dead at the scene. Thomas Holder.
Yeah, you know, we just dragged his car down to the infield quickly. We put him on a gurney, stuck him in the infield care center. We said, drivers, we got a race to finish. There's still 36 laps left to go. Here we are. We're going to run it the rest of the way. The 00 Thomas Holder memorial service might be next week, might not be. We'll find out. Let you know later.
I'm getting reports that the ice freezer behind the medical center is now out of order and no one is to look in it. Just keep that in mind.
Boy, in the chat, JT Tinker said, first Ozzy, now Thomas. R.I.P. That, well said, JT. What a rough day for us rock and racer fans. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. Now we lost Thomas Holder.
Gavin Adams says it'll buff out. The car might be fixed, but you can't buff out a life there, bud.
Well, folks, we're going to have a moment of silence here for Mr. Thomas Holder. He was just pronounced dead here tonight. He has lost his life here at Michigan for Speedway. And here's some Hudson Motorsports TV tunes you enjoy. This one's called Echo Burn, one of the best in the business. Kick back, relax. We'll be back here in a moment. Hudson Motorsports TV World's #1 streaming service. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in Michigan here for the Motor City 220. We're about to drop the hammer and go green. 75 laps down. About, trying to do the quick math. 35 or so left to go. The pace truck is in. Christian, gonna take us green.
Dylan Krim, our race leader, keeping us in line as the field kind of gets in line behind them. Green flag is in the air with 35 laps to go here at Michigan.
Ripping it down into turns 1 and 2. We got a car coming off pit road. Lady's going to go a lap down.
I wonder who that car could be.
Yeah, not sure. Oh, caution's
Doesn't
out.
matter. Caution's out.
It's like Jason Grattan went off track here. Let's see if that was what happened. Oh, yep, it was. Hang on. Let's get a little better view here. Our chopper cam was hanging out there on the other side of the track. So, he's in the back. So just a bad start. Domino effect restart. Guys checking up here. Nowhere to go. He slams the brakes, turns left, and he does a burnout in victory lane. Jason Grattan, he knows he's not going to win it tonight. Figured he'd take a trip down to victory lane anyways. So that's why
I just want to
go ahead.
I just want to point out something disrespectful. We had somebody pass on the track. And his car is back on the track. Somebody has jumped in his backup car and wants to finish this race.
Oh my, talk about the disrespect. In memory of Thomas Holder, the crew chief has just jumped in the car. They have wiped up the blood from the seat. The halo is bent, but the crew chief of Thomas Holder says, we're going to finish this race. We don't really care. He was a fill-in anyways.
You know, you can't treat your drivers like a number, but they do there at his team. Oh my.
Boy, this is the most disrespect I've ever seen in the racetrack, Christian. Do you not agree?
It's horrible. I mean, absolutely. League officials need to do something about this. That man literally just perished in that car, and they're out there trying to race still.
Christian, he's literally sitting in the man's blood. This is just brutal. But nonetheless, it looks like a big chunk of the field heading down pit road, including the big Tony Stewart fan, Derek Offerman. been a race to forget so far for Derek, but he's going to try to cycle back up to the front. He parks it right in the middle of 2 pit stalls. And there we go.
He trying to do, I missed the stop. Did he try to do a patent at Jesse Becker pit stop or something?
I wouldn't even call it that. He literally stopped between the stall behind him and his stall halfway right in the middle. And then he ended up rolling into the rest. So he probably just gave up, I don't know, 5 or 10 spots on pit road.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is pure skill.
But James Waldo out front at a Little Rock, Arkansas, your race leader. It's been a good one for him so far. The vacation fiend Greg Hammond sitting in second. And the GOAT, of course, in the illegal 05 Tire Pros machine, Scott Rickard sitting in third.
You know what? That Tire Pros, it's in the tires. Confirmed.
Yeah, you know, I think he's got some doped up tires, but nonetheless, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. We got at least 22 of you tuned in. Not too shabby here for a Tuesday night race. Folks, be sure click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Share it to your friends. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, if it's your first time here, this is the world's #1 streaming service. 100% confirmed. So you need to subscribe right here, right now. Thanks for tuning in. And in the description, you're going to see some information regarding our other social media channels as well as our Discord. Be sure to check out our Discord channel, folks. Every single month we do a event. It is one of the best events in the business. In August, it's going to be a figure 8 race at the Slinger track. We're going to be in the Lucas Oil Pro 2 lights. It's going to be a good one. You don't want to miss out on that. The only way to join is to join the Discord today. We'll get you enrolled. Information can be found there.
Unfortunately, have to report that Chad White has manually retired from this race.
On that guy, you know, he probably just got tired and pulled it in.
You know, we pay him all this money and he just quit like that. Blake, we got to talk about our sponsorships here, man.
This is ridiculous. We're about to strip the Hutchinson Motorsports TV sponsorship from that 36 car, Chad White. That guy doesn't even want to race.
I mean, his car's still here. I'm going to take my razor blade down there right now.
Absolutely, and we're gonna have to find a new car to sponsor here. Maybe we can get on board with the 05. He's gonna win every week.
Yep, Scott Rickard, the GOAT. You know, I think I picked him to win this race today, didn't I?
I don't know. Maybe you did.
You know what? I take that back because if I said that for certain, he'll have the fate like Aaron Papa, who has actually raced his way back up to the 12th position. You know, I might not be out yet, Blake.
You might be in it, but here we're coming to the flag stand here at Michigan Motor Speedway in front of a sold-out crowd. The Motor City 220 pace truck is in. Field is set. James Waldo ready to roll. Green flag in the air.
Watching a bit of a checkup towards the back. We get it going. We're rolling. Got one changing the lanes before the start finish. I'm not sure if that's legal, but nonetheless, we stay green.
Hey, it's legal if nobody sees it, but Waldo, still your race leader, trying to hold off Greg Hammond in that 66 machine. And here they are in a big run from the illegal 05 machine. It's Scott Rickard on the outside.
That car has doped up tires and a whole lot of grip heading to the outside. You know, he's trying to play dumb here. He don't want to give it all that power that he actually has in that car. But look at him go. Almost does he? Not quite clear. Second place there.
Yeah, I tell you what, Rickard's got something figured out. He's trying to make the top work, though. Doesn't have much help for now, but the race leader, just like all night long, holding that bottom line on the inside, and you are tough to pass.
I think that's going to go down to the wire. We had 30 to go right now, but if you keep control... What in the world is that purple car doing? Making a move aggressively to the outside.
That's Greg Hammond there. He's trying to get to his next vacation. He wants to win this race.
He's on that jet to holiday.
Yeah, here he comes here. Outside line losing momentum as they're going to try to form a line and not going to happen. Waldo continues to lead with Rickard in second.
You know, Rickard's just down there hoping that Waldo gives him a window to that bottom line.
Here's Here's Rickard looking to the outside. Let's see if he can finish the pass without any help here. Side by side for the race lead. Rickard and Waldo.
Doesn't look like he had the run set up to get around him fully.
Yeah, right now we're on board. Sam Siegel right now in the number 19 machine, currently running 5th. He's looking to stick his nose somewhere where it doesn't belong. He wants to win this race.
Look how loose that car looks, how much he's having to wheel that thing down a straightaway.
And we got Everett Lane right here. And boy, I tell you what, he was running in the back earlier. Here he is out of Delaware, currently up front, trying to put himself into a top 5 finish.
Look at this pack right now. We started single file. We didn't start double wide like we are racing here. This all happened after the restart, folks.
And take a look at your guy here. Aaron Poplin cruising in that bottom line, looking to get a big run up front here.
Look at that run he has, trying to close it up. Needs to get up a little bit, I think, and, you know, try to slingshot off of these cars.
You know, you can get a big
there
run.
There it goes.
Right.
His car just launched.
Yeah, he's just got nowhere to put it, though. He's just going to have to lift and kill that run. But, boy, he would have had a huge run there if he would have had any holes to stick it into. But nonetheless, out front, Waldo's still leading this thing. Rickard trying to get a push there somehow. This guy's pushing him.
You know, if they did try to bump draft, it definitely wouldn't end very pretty for them. But Scott Rickard, he's just holding his cards. He's got a royal flush on the table, but he doesn't want to show it yet.
DJ Weeks, he's got a good plan. You know, you've been watching the 05 of Rickard dominate most of this race. He says, you know what? I'm just going to go wherever that 05 car goes, and that is one hell of a plan for the 97 of Weeks.
You know, it don't matter how many laps you lead. You just got to lead that last one. DJ Weeks might be on a plan.
Wait, no, Christian, this might be, you know, this is honestly the best driver I've ever seen drive a number 97 race car here on the service.
Ooh, you know, I can't agree with that one. My job would be at jeopardy. You know, my car, I drive for Storm Motorsports. I can't say nothing here. I refuse to comment.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, DJ Weeks still looking good, sitting in 4th. Waldo continues to lead in, folks. Here's Dylan Grimm still. He's been here all night long, currently sitting in 3rd. Dylan Grimm is gonna have a shot at this race.
Look at the run he has. He just has to check up. Dylan Grimm to the outside. Does he have enough of a run to clear? I don't think so.
Ooh, Rickard.
That's also going to put...
Yeah, I was going to say Rickard was looking to stick his nose underneath the two, but the line was just not there as Hammond is just cruising right on that yellow line. Oh, what into the wall! Oh, what a save there. I thought he was junked. I think that's Brian Samara just about junked the field there.
Look at Brian Samara go up towards the front. BCI putting on a clinic, unless your name is JT.
You know, Brian, I'm surprised he didn't have damage. He got into the wall pretty good there, but the Kannapolis, North Carolina, and Brian Samara rolling the top, looking to take over the race lead.
What a show these drivers are putting on here tonight.
4 wide again. They are duking it out right now. It's a matter of time, though, Christian. These guys are going to junk it.
When you're 4 wide staggered like that, your spotter's going to have a hard time telling you how those cars are spaced out. That's when you can get yourself in trouble.
And you know, Chris, it's just so hard to pass unless you get a run. Really, your only chance to take over that lead is to get a big run on the car in front of you and just shoot out at the perfect time. Hope to get enough run to come back down and take that bottom line. But nonetheless, they're still cruising as the 89 of Waldo out front.
Can we go another 21 laps incident-free, Blake?
I mean, I want to say no, but these guys are putting on a clinic out front. Maybe we can, but you never know. Next lap, they might jump it. We just got 19 laps remaining.
No, I wish we could see how much fuel our race leaders have right now. James Waldo, Dylan Grimm, Scott Rickard. I think Scott Rickards can make it to the end.
That was a close one. Grimm almost got into the 89 there, but fortunately they were all able to save it. As Rickard, he's going to pin it to the bottom. Caution's out. Greg Hammond is junked. Here it is.
Does he go on a Jet 2 holiday?
Yeah, he just lost it. Oh, God, look out!
Oh, my!
Folks, hang on, Christian. We got something for our fans here. This is what just happened. Greg Hammond.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Hammond is junk. He is headed to the airport for a Jet 2 holiday because he is done in his INDYCAR here at Michigan. Where do you think he's going, Christian?
Jamaica, Tahiti, anywhere but victory lane here at Michigan.
I tell you what, you can go anywhere, but you can't stay here, Mr. Hammond, because you are not allowed in victory lane. You need to load it up and get on out. You're junk.
See if any of our race leaders opt to pit here. We're probably going to be our last caution pit cycle. Our race leader, James Waldo, comes in. Everyone else does not. James Waldo just said, here you go. Here's the race win to Dylan Graham.
Well, Christian, remember that pit stop earlier. I'm pretty sure he was not good on fuel because, I mean, you know he's not coming down pit road if he had enough fuel. So we got quite a few coming down pit road. And if you're in the back, you may as well get some tires or, I don't know, do something, maybe give you a minor advantage. But nonetheless, looks like we've got around 10 or so cars staying out onto the track. The rest of them down pit road.
Like Sam Siegel there struggling to get in this pit box.
In the chat, though, let's see. Fish is saying Waldo and Hammond are teammates. So, well, Hammond's night's done. Let's see if Waldo can fight back through the field. Not going to have a good shot, though, after having to start near the back.
JT Tinker says that's 93 car is junk. JT, we're going to work on self-confidence for you, okay, bud?
Yeah, that's half the battle. Let's see. Next week, though, we're going to be in the Gen 4 cars around Darlington. JT, I'd ask him what his chances are there, but I don't think he's too great at Darlington either.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Like Blake said, next week here in the Stars and Stripes series, we'll be at Darlington. But if we take a look at Hutchinson Motorsports TV's schedule, tomorrow night, check us out. Superstar ARCA West Series at Southern National, followed by Thursday night, Gen 4s in the All-American Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway. We have an action-packed week of live scheduled for you. Stay tuned. Do not miss a second of action here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
Absolutely, and you'll see on your screen our broadcast schedule. Take a look at it here tonight. We're at Michigan. Tomorrow night, Southern National in the ARCA cars, then the Gen 4s at Texas this week, and then next week, we're going to be in the Gen 4s again, the ARCA, and then Gen 4. So we're going to have 2 Gen 4s next week. We got 1 this week. If you're into the Gen 4 car, you're in the right place. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We got 3 broadcasts every single week for now. So be sure to tune in. Click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the only place you can catch this kind of action, as we've got only about 15 laps left remaining here at Michigan for the Motor City 220 tonight.
We are under our 1 to green pace lap. We're going to be starting with 16 laps to go. Dylan Graham, Scott Rickard, Everett F. Lane, Brian Samara, and Aaron Poplin round out your top 5 currently.
Well, you know, Dylan Graham cycles into the lead, and we know how dominant that bottom lane is. He's going to be tough to beat. I mean, this is totally different than, the draft runs are big here, but this isn't like a NASCAR Cup race where you need a push. It's all about, if he holds that bottom line, I don't think he can get past. I think Dylan Graham's going to win this race.
Let's put ourselves before this race in a mindset, Blake, and I'm going to tell you something, that BCI is going to have 2 cars in contention late in this race. Do you believe me?
No, I wouldn't believe you, but, I mean, looking at the board here, they are in 4th and 5th place. This is incredible. We got one of their cars is junk. He's on pit road watching his phone right now. And then Brian Samara in 4th, Aaron Poplin in 5th. Christian, we're about to go green. Take us around.
Dylan Graham in the restart zone. Green flag is in the air with 8, 7, I cannot count, 16 laps to go. Warren down the front stretch towards turn 1. We're going to go to the Gopher Canada as our field flies by. Looks like we have a clean restart. We are clean and green here at Michigan.
Yep, on the back stretch, your race leader still Dylan Grimm, but here comes Rickard in that illegal 05 car looking for a big run, and he's trying to take the lead on the outside.
Doesn't quite clear him. That would have been big if he did. Doesn't have what it takes. He's going to fall side by side with our race leader through the tri-oval as our fourth place car, Brian Samara, trying to find a run. We are 3 wide. He blocks him.
Samara clears him. He's going to go to... Oh, if I was Samara, I'd have done it. I would have sent it straight to the bottom there. He was clear briefly, but now he's going to fall back. Samara with a big run there on the outside line.
If he would have cleared him, that could have been your race-winning move right there. But is that ever in a 24 car? Is that 24? I can't make out who that is. Somebody very impatient behind Brian there, almost pushing him down the stretch.
We got the 4 car of Hale right there, and then we got... How about William Duff up here? He just junked it. He was in the first caution, and here he is kind of running up front. But let's keep our eyes tuned as Dylan Grimm holding on to this race lead for now.
What some racing action we have here. Caution is out. What happened, Blake?
Let's take a look, try to find out what happened. Jason Gratton's junk. Let's see if it has to do with that. So here's Jason Gratton. They're throwing a block for last. And he just gets turned.
Oh. Whee!
Jump.
Splat.
Boy, you know, Gratton, he's back there battling for last. Throws a late block, and the guy just says, hell with it. I'm going to tear my nose up, and I'm going to junk you. Nobody slide jobs me. Never lifted. Dylan Grimm definitely likes seeing that yellow. He's your race leader, going to kill some laps, and since we get the single file restarts, he's got to feel good.
Just got to be careful to protect that bottom line. Scott Rickard knows what he's doing. If Scott Rickard could take advantage of that bottom line, he might be your race leader winner here tonight.
100% here. So we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a moment. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure before this race ends, click that like button. Subscribe to the page. You're not going to want to miss the finish of this race. And we got 2 more scheduled the rest of this week and many more to come. Hutchinson Motorsports TV World's #1 streaming service. Shuttle Rickard Johnson! Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Less than 10 laps remaining. Dylan Grimm, Scott Rickard, they've been the two favorites most of the race, and they're going to duke it out for the win here tonight at Michigan.
Definitely looking at a good, exciting race finish. We had just delayed the restart. We are on our 2 to go still. As we cross the start-finish line, we'll have our 1 to go. Trying to hear in the chat if any reason why we delayed. I don't have no reason to report just yet.
Yeah, well, doesn't really matter nonetheless, but out front, again, it's going to be Grimm, Rickard, Lane, Samara, and Hale. And folks, we just got a subscriber. We appreciate you. Rochelle Carter. Rochelle, you are the GOAT.
He just subscribed to the world's #1 streaming service. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, you just made the best decision of your life. Your life has now changed for the better. Rochelle Carter, the new GOAT of Hutchinson Motorsports TV. But the field is set. We're about to drop the hammer and go green here at Michigan. Or did we delay it again, Christian?
Yep. No, it didn't get delayed again. That was our 2 to go. Now we're going 1 to go right here.
All right, well, we're not going green yet, so it's going to be 9 laps left to go once we drop the hammer and go green. As always, though, folks, as we take another out lap around here, getting to the finish here, Grimm, Rickard, Lane out front. You got plenty of time. Click that like button on the video here tonight. Stars and Stripes Racing, the only place you can see it is live here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Click that like button, folks. We've got 10 likes. We've got 25 people watching right now. The math does not add up.
You know, let's see, Blake. Let's count how many seconds it takes to hit that like button. You ready? 1.
Yeah,
that was it.
I think it was less than 1, honestly. But hey, nonetheless, folks, thanks for tuning in. Anyways, we appreciate you. You got another minute here, folks, because these are kind of some long pace laps. Log into your account if you haven't. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Check out the description here on the channel. We got some info in there you can check out. Check out our Discord as well. That's where you can sign up for the patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV events, best events in the business. But we're about to drop the hammer finally here. Go green. Dylan Grimm's going to set the pace. See if we can get a finish here tonight for the Motor City 220.
With only 9 laps left to go as we take that green flag, I've underestimated these drivers once before. I'm not going to do it again. It's going to be in their hands. Green flag is waiting to wave. Blake, take it away.
All right, the pace truck is in, field is set. Grimm ready to roll in front of a sold-out crowd. Green flag in the air with 9 laps left to go here tonight.
Watching Dylan Grimm, as soon as he took that green flag, he's sitting there trying to shake the draft immediately. Going through 1 and 2 on the line. Scott Rickard going to make a run to his outside. Does he have the speed to clear him as they're running down the front stretch?
It's looking like he's not gonna, folks. This has happened time and time again. That outside line, 1 into the wall. Hard, he's junk. It's Lane. Lane is junk. We're still green, folks. And he just got smoked. He just got smoked. He's dead. Caution's out. Everett Lane is dead. Here's a replay. Hang on here, folks. It's not going back far enough. All right, so here's Everett Lane. Looks like he just kind of ships it in a little bit too hard. Let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV blimp here. Watch Everett Lane there. Currently in 3rd. Gets a big run. Look at that huge run. Goes in the corner just a little bit too hard. Oh, yeah. So he thought he was getting kind of blocked there. He overreacted. Went straight up into the wall. He doesn't hold his brake. Comes down the track, gets smoked. The big pedal on the in the middle there, Everett, is your brake pedal. If you hit that, that won't happen next time.
Zach Kreitz involved in that 9 Napa machine. His night's probably going to be over. Look at that tire just beating and banging there, rolling through the grass. He's playing basketball with his left front, folks.
Yeah, Kreitz is the one that hits him when he didn't hold his brake there, and just the car would not turn after that because he damaged the right front. Then he comes in, hits the left front too. Folks, my logs are saying Dylan Grimm crashed. I don't think that's correct though. Let's see where Mr. Dylan Grimm is. He looks fine to me, so he's your race leader. Dylan Grimm out front. trying to hold off Rickard. You know, Grims has to like seeing these cautions. Again, folks, we do these single file restarts. When you're the race leader, there's nothing better than getting a restart because you get to set the pace and there's no one beside you.
Looks like Dylan Grimm did not crash. Your log is showing his name because he had to check up for the pace car and almost came to a stop. So never mind that log. It was just because he was waiting on the pace truck.
Yep. Well, once we get going green, we'll have 4 or 5 laps remaining, folks. Hey, eventually we're going to get this thing over with. You know, this is the very end of the race. These guys racing hard. You know, this is the 12th caution, but we expected this. We've got 40 guys out here in an IndyCar at Michigan. I mean, what do you expect? But, I mean, it's honestly been cleaner than I expected because a lot of these cautions have been solo car spins.
You know, one of these restarts is going to be the final one. I'm looking at not really our race leader, Dylan Grimm, but behind him, Scott Rickard and Brian Samara. I saw Dylan Grimm making an evasive maneuver as soon as the green flag waved that last time. He went immediately tried to break the draft, and Scott Rickard went with him, you know, trying to keep the draft. The one that we need to keep an eye out for is Brian Samara there. If he's smart, if he could play his cards right, he'll be able to take advantage of that draft breaking, get that little bit of a run, and take overall race lead. Keep an eye out for 53 of Brian Samara.
You know, honestly, I like Samara's chances better than I like Rickard's. When you're Rickard, there's only one car to get that run off in front of you here in these Indy cars. It's all about the car in front of you. It doesn't matter what's behind you. And with Dylan Grimm shaking the draft, Rickard's going to have a hard time getting that run to take it over. But, you know, you got Samara there in third. He could take advantage of Rickard's draft, then swap it over, go to Grimm's draft, and then maybe get a big enough run to go take that outside line.
Definitely going to be something to keep an eye out for. We are 1 to green, folks. Long race here tonight.
Absolutely, as we're watching the Hutchinson Motorsports Scenic Blimp, and there's the beautiful victory lane. That's where these guys are ultimately trying to get to here tonight.
That's their goal. That's their mission.
We'll see who gets the job done, though.
I'm hoping this could be our last green flag restart. Excuse me, our last restart. We can see some good racing action to the finish here.
And we're going to see how this plays out. We know hugging the bottom as a race leader has been the plan all night long. And that second place car, it seems like they can always get to the outside line there. They just can never finish that pass.
You know, I've seen Brian Samara do it, and I think Scott Rickard may have had a moment. You get clear, you have to take it. Hesitation leads to that car just getting it back. If you get clear, you got to shoot down the track. It's going to be aggressive. And green flag is in the air, folks.
Yeah, green flag in the air. We're on board with your race leader, Dylan Grimm, as he's cruising into turn 1 with a good jump. Rickard hangs back a little bit. He's going to try and build a little bit of a run. See if he can take over that race lead here with 5 laps left to go.
What a run he has. He's going to shoot out to the outside. Does he clear our race leader?
Oh,
he does not take it, though.
That's about as close as it could be. He could not clear the wing. Like, he got past the tire, just couldn't clear the wing. So Dylan Grimm going to hold on for now. Let's see if he can hold on here on the bottom line with 4 laps remaining. Big run on the outside line. Who's that? Zachary Nelson. And it dies.
Still green, trying to get some runs going. The only way you're going to get past our race leader right now, Dylan Grimm, is to try to get control of that bottom line from him. He's staying glued to the yellow, though, and you can't pass him under that, so he's obviously got this race in the bag as long as he can keep that position.
You know, one thing to watch, if Rickard can get side by side here, so getting 3 wide for the race lead and a caution comes out, he could briefly take over the race lead long enough to get placed into first, but it looks like it's going to be a tall task to get around that 23 car without some help with a caution.
Brian Samara with a run on the outside, not going to be able to get clears with 3 wide. You know, another way you could steal this race is to have that run right as we come through the tri-oval. We are 2 to go here.
And we are running out of time. Let's see if we can get to the white flag and get a finish, or are these guys going to junk it as they're 4 wide through a big chunk of the field?
Oh, there's the wreck. Brian Samara probably involved. Oh, no. We're not going to make it to the white, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Samara is junk here tonight. Let's see what happened in this wreck here and who was the cause.
That cannot feel great for Brian. Just the car underneath
This is
him.
the bottom line now. Is that Hale, I'm guessing? Yeah, Hale just...
I can't confirm.
Yeah, Hale, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Aaron Hale. Just comes up the track here. I mean, they're 3 wide. He just doors, I believe. That's probably Weeks in the 97. It's in the Hale. I mean, look, he's got a whole lane underneath him. That's 100% Aaron Hale's fault. He junks Samara, junks that blue car. Unfortunate luck there. Samara's done.
Innocent bystander took out of this race with a chance to win it all. He cannot be happy, ladies and gentlemen. I feel for him there. That one has to be gut-wrenching.
Well, you know what I saw there, Christian? I saw a lack of talent by the 53. He should have been able to avoid that wreck. Brian Samara is junk. His night is over. He's packing it up.
Did Aaron Hale cause that wreck and get out of it scot-free?
Oh, absolutely. That's usually how it goes here. Well, let's I'm
take
on
a
the
look.
Hutchinson Motorsports drone here. Let's fly over to the 4 car here. He's looking pretty good to me, Christian. Scores like 4
Yeah,
cars
not
ready
even-
to roll.
No tub damage at all, so gonna be a contender for our race win.
Let's fly
By
away.
those
Let's
restarts.
go back down pit road now. Here, change it up. All right, back out front, Dylan Green. We're gonna have a green-white checker. Christian, can you confirm how many green-white checkers we do here?
You got one and done.
Oh, wow. So I mean, I hate to say it, this race is over. I mean, Dylan Grimm, he's got to make it, you know, 1 lap around basically to get that white flag, and then at that point, I mean, he's just good to go. I don't see any way he can get past right here.
And if there's a wreck before the white flag, iRacing will throw that caution and we'll just pace to the end. That's how that works.
Yeah, folks,
That'd be
we
an
do.
unfortunate way to end
yeah.
this exciting race.
You know, a lot of leagues, they just wouldn't throw the yellow in that situation when you have 1 green, white checkered. Well, we do automatic yellows here, and iRacing at Michigan, for some reason, you go all the way there on the infield and you come to a stop, they're going to throw the yellow. This is a very caution trigger happy race here. So 1 guy gets sideways, we're throwing the yellow, and Dylan Grimm going to pace his way to victory.
Do you hear that roar from the crowd? They are excited to watch this finish. They are electric, Blake.
I tell you what, not a fan has sat down all race long. They've been on their feet here for 2 hours plus. Nonetheless, though, we got 24 in the chat here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. 11 likes. The math is still not adding up, folks. You got a little bit of time. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Only place you can see a finish with the Stars and Stripes INDYCARs.
As the pace truck crosses the start-finish line, his lights go out. We are 1 to green and 2 green flag laps away from the checkered flag. I don't know what's going to happen, folks, but I can promise you it's going to be big.
Yeah, we got Mark Fish in the chat. He's saying Waldo's got the freshest tires. He's going to win. Well, Mark, I mean, he's got maybe got 10 to 15 lap pressure tires, but hate to break it to you, in these Indy cars, that doesn't matter. It's all about the run with the draft.
Yeah, we've saw all night. Whoever could get that bottom line, it really didn't matter what condition their tires in, what condition their car was in. They was just able to keep control of the entire race.
Yeah, he really would. Grimm would have to make a mistake, maybe catch the apron, get a little sideways. He'd have to do something. But if he can get up to full speed, hold it to the bottom, be able to hold it down on the throttle, he should be able to win this race. But hey, we got to see what happens here. We're going to get 1 green, white checker. That's all we get here. 1 try at it, folks. If we get a yellow, we're going to finish under yellow.
You know, he wasn't proud of it, but what did Scott Ricker do when he was down and out last week?
Well, he did junk the guy, so you think Scott might do that here in the open wheel cars?
You know, you got to be precise and calculated with it, but that illegal 05 car might have something up his sleeve.
If anybody can get the job done, it is that cheater 05 car. But the pace truck is in. Dylan Grimm, he's ready to roll. He can go at any time. He's your race leader into the restart zone. Green flag in the air in Michigan, and another good jump.
35,000 fans in the stands. None of them are sitting down. Dylan Grimm, your race leader, out to a 3 bus length gap. That's just going to give Scott Rickard in the 05 car time to build up momentum, trying to make that pass as we go down the backstretch over 213 miles an hour. Caution is out. The race is over.
Yeah, Christian, I was about to say, you know, Scott 100% intentionally hung back there so he could get that big run, and it was about to work out for him. And a big wreck happens. Let's see, Aaron Poplin just junked it. So all 3 BCI cars are junked.
Aaron Poplin, you just... Oh, man.
Oh, and then the two guys try to avoid him. So Poplin just lost it himself, ran out of talent there. He turns it, backs it into the wall. Dylan Grimm, he's going to take the checkered flag here, but looks, the white flag's in the air. Dylan Grimm for the final time, rolling around the speedway with the pace truck in front of him. He's going to take the checkered flag here with the Motor City 200 in Michigan.
You know, I hate to say it's a disappointing end, but it really is to an exciting, event-filled race. But nonetheless, he earned it just the same. Your race winner, Dylan Grimm, and that 23 machine definitely was able to hold on to it for most of the later half of the race. Good job, Dylan Grimm.
Yeah, you know, I told you earlier, Dylan Grimm, he always gives himself a shot to win these races. And here he did it tonight. You know, Waldo had to pit there late to give up the lead, and the track position was everything with the cautions. And here they come for the last time in front of the sold-out crowd. They're booing. They're throwing beer cans. They didn't like the finish, but it doesn't matter. The 23, Dylan Grimm, takes the checkered flag at Michigan. So it's going to be Grimm in first, Rickard second, Aaron Hale third. Let's pull in some of these guys, do some quick interviews here as Grimm's going to loop it around, do some burnouts here in a moment.
I don't see Aaron Hale in the Discord. Aaron Hale, if you're watching, hop on into the waiting room. We can get you an interview.
Yeah, we'll just have to start with the second place finisher. Was my pick to win it. Scott Rickard couldn't get that job done, but boy, he had a big run there. But I still kind of feel like it would have came up short there. But he would have had a shot at it. So let's pull him in here. Scott Rickard, your second place finisher. Scott, Blake and Christian up here in the booth again. You got us?
Yes, I do.
Hey, second place finish. You couldn't get the job done, but still has to feel pretty good. You were up front all night long.
Yeah, I plan to be wrecked in this race, so no fast repair usage. Second place, can't complain.
Yeah, you know, and it looked like you did a great job on that restart. You kind of hung back, gave yourself some room to get a big run, and you had it, but the caution came out. You think it would have been enough?
Yeah. Eh, probably not. I messed up. That was probably my worst restart in the last hour. Probably like 3 or 4 of them. Just didn't quite get going like I was the other times.
Yeah, you know, it just seemed like it was so hard. If somebody held that bottom line, you just weren't going to be able to pass them.
Yeah, I feared my only hope was we made it to turn 3 and I was leading on the outside of him with the draft I would have got. Because I knew once we got turn 3, the short line, he would have been fine, won it if we went green.
Yeah, but hey, it was a good race nonetheless. Christian, what do you got for Scott here after finishing second?
P1 last week at Daytona. P2 here at Michigan. Off to a great start this season. We head to the Southern 200. My home track, Darlington, South Carolina, next week in the Gen 4. How do you feel about your momentum heading in to Darlington?
Well, I love Darlington, so that's the only step 1 for that track. I love it. Something about it always fit my style, I guess, and probably should have a couple wins there, but fortunately, I know Kyle McCoy's in this league, and he's really good there too, so probably keep trying to get good finishes at least.
All right, well, hey, great job here tonight, putting it in second place here. Probably going to have a good points lead heading into week number 3. Good start to the season. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, there's Scott Rickard tonight, second place finisher. And folks, I see our third place finisher, Aaron Hale. Let's pull him in here, see what he's got to say. Aaron, Blake, and Christian up here in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, putting it on the podium there, getting a third place finish tonight had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels great. It's been a long time. I think it's been a couple seasons since I've been up here in the booth for an interview for a top three. So, yeah, I'll take it. Usually my seasons start pretty badly, running, back in the 20s and worse. So to finish 15th and then third tonight, I'll take that to start the season.
Yeah, definitely a good run. Now, do you have much experience in these Indy cars, or are you just kind of winging it out here?
Not a ton. Just the Indy 500 that we run in this league, mixed results in that Indy 500 race. So not a ton, but I do enjoy driving them. They're a handful. As you saw, I'm sure it's quite a show. A lot of junked race cars tonight, but yeah, they're fun, and hopefully I can get better at them as the season goes on.
Yeah, well, hey, Christian, what do you got for a third place finisher here?
Just a congratulations to Aaron. Did you think you had anything to try to get a run going to try to take over that race and win if that caution did not come out?
Not really. I kind of made the mistake of taking the bottom there off of 2, so I probably would have got past, ended up 4th, but who knows what would happen as we came up to the white. It seemed like to pass the leader, you kind of needed a 3-wide situation to make it work. There was a few times I was on the outside of the leader and just couldn't get enough momentum to get by, so I think it was going to be tough to get by for the lead.
Yeah, definitely
Well,
agree with you
congratulations
there.
on your third place finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you
again,
guys, and
no.
thank Nate and everyone else who runs the league.
Yeah, he did a great job, and like you said, it just seemed like when that leader was holding down that white line there on the bottom of the track, they were pretty tough to get around.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure how many lead changes we had, but it couldn't have been too many under green, I wouldn't think. But had to go back and check out your replay.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, great job out there tonight, putting it on the podium here. We'll send you back down to the track so you can celebrate.
Thanks, fellas.
Aaron Hale putting it on the podium there in the third. But, folks, it's time for the star of the show. Christian, I'll let you lead off the interview as we pull in Dylan Grimm to the booth.
Dylan Grimm, our race leader tonight. Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys.
Welcome up, Dylan. You were able to keep control of this race. The second half, maintain control over that bottom line seemed to be the secret. Was that the case out there?
Yeah, absolutely. It was super hard to pass the leader when they just held the bottom all night long. And I think it was James Waldo pitted in front of me with like 16 to go or something like that. And after that, I just had to make sure I didn't get beat on those restarts.
Yeah, you did a great job holding the line out front. You know, it seemed like you were up in the top 3, top 5 all night long, and you didn't really take over that lead until later on, but definitely worked out for you as you were able to avoid a couple of wrecks up front.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one definitely close one about mid-race that I almost got big junked in, but luckily I avoided all wrecks, didn't have to use my fast repair. Had a few incident points, but kept it clean and out front for the most part.
Yeah, you know, it has to feel good parking at Victory Lane early on in the year. Now, this is the first season we're rotating cars. Coming into this season, how were you feeling about this IndyCar? Was it one of the ones you were looking forward to the most, or the other way around?
I was looking forward to it on the ovals. I'm not much of a road course guy, so the Indy cars might be a little bit of a struggle on the road course races, but on the ovals, I feel like they're a blast, and you know, figuring out all the engine mapping and all the different like adjustments and strategy that you can do that doesn't come with the regular NASCAR racing that I have a blast with.
Well, absolutely. Well, congratulations. Before you head out, you got any shout outs for our great fans at home after winning this race, other than letting them know they need to subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV?
Yeah, of course. Make sure to subscribe. I want to thank Nate and Derek and everyone who puts on this league. Love being a part of it every year. I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do a great job. Got to thank my papa for spotting for me every single race in these Stars and Stripes. We have a lot of fun together. I got to thank all my teammates at GWC Racing, Jason Gratton, Josh Gratton, Zach Kreitz. They all helped me prepare and figure out everything. And then I got to thank anyone else cheering on me tonight.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations. Parking it in Victory Lane here tonight. Next week, we're going to see you back out here. We're going to be in the Gen 4s at Darlington.
Ooh, that should be fun.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations. We'll send you down to celebrate. Look forward to talking to you more later on into the season.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, folks, that was your race winner, Dylan Grimm. As the screen's going black, we're getting timed out for some reason here. But Dylan Grimm takes the win at Michigan. Christian, what'd you think of that race?
I think it honestly took my breath away. I didn't expect what we had here tonight, but the drivers were able to put on a clinic, showed us what good IndyCar oval racing can be here at Michigan. I was a little disappointed in the end, but however, we don't have any control over that. Can't change it now. It was a great race overall.
No, sirree. But hey, like Christian said, I think it was a pretty good race overall. We were expecting a bunch of wrecks. I mean, anybody would with 40 Indy cars out here at Michigan. But nonetheless, we hope to see you back here next week, same time, same place. We're going to be at Darlington in the Gen 4s. We're going to sign out. We got a new Hutchinson Motorsports TV outro video to show you. This is a good one. Jesse Becker put all kinds of time into this one. Kick back, relax, enjoy it. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Signing out for Christian Taylor, I'm Blake Hutchinson in the booth. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. Each other, Rickard Johnson, checkered flag in the air, Scott Rickard wins it!
Oh, and there he goes, hard into the inside wall, Hibbs is involved, Tyler Whittemore, he's in the middle of the track, he's gonna get sparked again!
He's jumped! LaFrance shows up blocking his turn! Rosenberg takes the lead, they're all junking it! The entire field is jumped! Oh, and Andy Tigger Johnson! Oh, and he gets collected!
Oh, and he goes around 78. Oh, hard into the pit wall. He's dead. He is dead.
Cleared out of 3 and 4 for the final time. Matthew wins his first race back. Missed last week, but here he is taking the checkered flag